In 1986, something strange happened. Heavy metal became the most popular music in the world. And everywhere you looked, kids were growing their hair long, flashing the devil horn sign, and playing air guitar. But not everyone loved it. Critics thought it was unsophisticated music for unsophisticated people. One writer went as far as calling it sick, repulsive, horrible, and dangerous. Tipper Gore, wife of America's future vice president, led parents in a charge to censor heavy metal, resulting in the now familiar warning labels.
Cole Porter's The Birds Do It, The Bees Do It can hardly be compared with Wasp, I-F-U-C-K, like a beast.
I would tell you it's outrageous filth.
Religious groups launched their own crusade against heavy metal. They feared it was a vessel for the devil and had created a satanic epidemic among teenagers.
The lyrics is what's become serious because it glorifies, glamorizes, and packages evil.
And then the lawsuits came. Metal artists were sued for causing kids to commit suicide or even murder. Heavy metal was the moral panic of the day. And metal fans, they were considered lowlifes, dead-end kids, the bane of society.
A bottle working on summer just to try to earn a dollar. But Lord, I tried to call my baby, I tried to get a date.
If you really want to go back to one of the early metal bands, you have to look at Blue Cheer. Nobody talks about very often because they were kind of a blip on the screen, but they were at one point the loudest, most metallic trio.
My awareness of it came with Led Zeppelin, it really did. That as soon as those guys launched, people started using the term heavy metal. And I knew instantly that that sound was having something.
As it is today, probably Deep Purple, you know, because they were the first to have this great big PA, you know. And the first to have a lot of pyrotechnics, really.
Actually, the first time heavy metal was ever used was used as about Alice Cooper.
Every metal band owes a debt musically to Black Sabbath. They were the original.
Indeed. First metal band ever, Black Sabbath.
Every cool riff has already been written by Black Sabbath. Anything anyone else does is just basically ripping it off.
You know, especially if they have problems at home, parents, drug addiction, alcoholism, it all contributes to, you know, the product of, you know, a young, angry musician.
It's a negation of sort of the world as it's handed to you. It just says, you know what, like this daily existence of this boring ass high school or this dead end Dairy Queen job, just no, like this is something that's mine and that I own. I won't do what you tell me.
It was there for a lot of dark times in my life. From the time I was 12 years old, metal was just a constant. And a lot of the lyrics spoke to me on a personal level about sticking to your guns and staying true to what you believe in.
It's like a lifestyle music, you know, everything else seems like people are like, oh yeah, I like it for a week, I lose interest, but metal, you know, it's metal fans love it forever. I guess I'm not a casual person. When I like something, it's like real, and it's not casual music. Like no one goes, yeah, I was really big into Slayer one summer. You know, there's not, like, I've never met that guy. I've only met the guy who's got Slayer carved across his chest.
Alternative universe. It gives them a life of imagination through which they can view music. And it usually inspires a lot of them to pick up a guitar and start playing.
To some parents in the 1980s, Dee Snider of Twisted Sister was the most dangerous guy on the planet. This was when metal met its first organized attack. Twisted Sister and 8 other metal bands were placed on a list called the Filthy 15 because their music was deemed offensive by the Parents Music Resource Center. Dee Snider was summoned to testify before the U.S. Congress to defend his music and his livelihood. I still think this music is harmless entertainment, but a lot of people think that metal lyrics have a serious effect on kids. Over the past 20 years, metal artists such as Judas Priest, Ozzy Osbourne, Cannibal Corpse, Slayer, Marilyn Manson, and Slipknot have all come under fire for causing teens to commit murder or suicide. Although none of these cases have succeeded, the cases keep coming.
Every time a serial killer or a mass murderer or a Satanist or any evil person in our society, anytime that the media has found out that they've listened to heavy metal music, it has been blown up as the reason du jour for why this person is doing the things that they do. You know, aha! They were Manson fans, see? That's why they slaughtered all those kids in the high school.
American news especially keys in on violence, you know, and they're trying to promote, you know, how wonderful American society is, and all they show is bloodbath at high school in Denver, you know, and they use that as a byline for like 2-3 days, you know, and they sucker a lot of people in. One of the lines we wrote a while back, it's in Disciple actually, is the beauty of death we all adore, because TV sucks you in and makes you want to see more of it.
The most powerful predictor of whether someone will commit suicide is the feeling of helplessness. Nobody listens to heavy metal in order to feel helpless. They listen to metal in order to feel empowered and connected with other people. And that may be empowered through a song that's about suicide that makes you realize that you're not alone, you're not helpless. Other people are going through the same things. You don't need to kill yourself.
There's times when you're sitting there alone, you're thinking it can't get much worse than this, you know, and you're just looking for something to help, and music did that. It's never saying, you know, just give up, because I can't buy into that. You know, I can't just give up if I've had a bad day. You know, if I've had a really bad day, I'm not gonna go drink or whatever. I'm not gonna fight someone. I'm gonna go home and listen to music, play some bass.
We get letters all the time from these kids that show how much our songs help them, and they go home feeling better, and they can go back to school. I mean, I have a lot of kids say that when they wear their Slipknot, T-shirts or their gear or whatever, that they feel safe.
Violence has been around a lot longer than we have. Unfortunately, the ignorance of Republican, puritanical thinking is they see a mosh pit, it's violent. That's all they see. And of course, pits can be brutal places, but at the same time, it's like, I'd rather have kids in the pit working out the stuff that they have to go through in their lives than out hurting other people with no optimistic ends.